Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome to the 2019 Spring YouTube Inspiration Hop for the Mercy Tiara Facebook group. And I am going to be scrapbooking with this sketch right here. I'm super excited to be doing it, so let's see what I can do. Alright guys, I am super excited to be participating in this YouTube hop, and I have pulled out my old Fiskars trimmer here, and that is because I am gutting my paper. Now, I forgot I had those My Sweet Petunia cutting rulers and just pulled out this bad boy. Since I had it out, I just decided to go with it. This is why I still am struggling with my guillotine trimmer, because any chance I get, I pull out an old standby trimmer. Now, I am going to mat this paper right here on top of the dark blue. And I did just take off a 1/4 inch off of each side. Now, normally I take a 1/2 inch off of 2 sides, but because there was pre-printedness on this paper that I did not want to lose the integrity of, I just went ahead and did it across the 4 sides. So the papers that I'm using are from Close to My Heart, and it is the Heart Happy collection, I want to say. It is a Valentine's Day love collection, but I figured since I am taking I already took the photograph of the love statue, I might as well use a love collection for it. And I'm definitely going to run with the whole love theme. I'm going to use hearts and the word love repeatedly, and just like arrows. I think of hearts and arrows when I think of love. So there we go. Now, since these were very graphic letters of the photo, I thought it would be fun to add that little bit of mixed media to it using this stencil. Cannot remember where I got this stencil. Now I take a little test of the Evergreen Bow Distress Oxide ink just to see how it will look, and it matches up pretty good. Now, these are the life-changing brushes, or a life-changing brush, and the jury is still out if they are life-changing for me. I am just not sure of them yet. I'm not sure if it is I have to get used to them and use them more type thing, because I'm very used to using my ink blending tool, or it just might not be for me. But I do love touching the brush and running my finger over it. It is very soothing. So in that aspect, it has been life-changing. So I'm making sure to check underneath what I'm doing here. I am making it darker in some areas and lighter in some areas on purpose, so it definitely looks a little splotchy with the stencil here, and I do of course have that big old thing in the center missing, but it's going to work out great because the photo is going to cover that center bit. And I decided that I needed to bring in some of the hot pink, or definitely give it a little bit of a deep punch of pink here. And I did not cut it to the size so that I could mat it again. I didn't want it that structured. I wanted it a little bit askew, so I cut a 4x6 piece of that paper out and went ahead and laid it down there. And I'm liking how this looks. It does not seem so boxy, which is what I didn't want to do. Sometimes I can get really boxy with my photo mats, and this time I definitely did not want to do that. Now, I pulled out this mint paper, and it has X's and O's on it, and it is a very graphic X and O. It's very linear, so I figured that this would go great because I've got the graphicness of the photo, I've got the grid background, and then I've kind of have like the loosey-goosey letters behind it as the mixed media. So I'm really happy with how I'm marrying the very structured look and the very kind of like loosey-woo look. At least I think I'm doing it. So I am going to go ahead and put this banner down. Now the banner was just under 3 inches, so I went ahead and cut a slit just under 1.5 inches and went ahead and cut that out. Now, I decided that I still wanted these little banners on top of it, so I am pulling out my trusty X-Acto knife, and I have a teeny Making Memories setting mat from Eyelet Days, and I actually have two of them. And this one is just sitting here at my desk, and I thought it was perfect. I didn't have to like go get a big cutting mat or try to finagle the one that I just keep here on top of my table. So I cut out the two little ones completely because they are completely covered by that banner that I cut out. And then I only cut out to about halfway for this pink one because it does not need to be completely cut out. So that is good. That's layered on there. Going to go ahead and make sure that that's straightened up and give it a little bit of adhesive. And I'm going to go right ahead and pop those little banners right back on top of the large banner. So I'm liking the way that this is coming out. I'm liking the pops of pink and the navy and the mint green that's in there, and it's working out. Now I'm thinking I need to get some embellishment down. And I know that I'm going to be pulling out some flowers because of the flowers that are in the sketch. Now I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to make the flowers work, but we'll see. Like I didn't know if I was going to kind of fussy cut some of these flowers out, or if I was going to die cut some flowers or break into the flower stash. Who knows what I was going to do. But I did see this little banner right here, and since I'm running with the whole banner theme, I decided to cut that out. And just going to go ahead and cut out that background as well, so the only thing you see is the banner. And it says something about all things grow with love. I'm just going to overlap that over top of the photo and also on the banner. And that really just, I like the way it looks. I like the way it cuts up a whole bunch of that mint green that's on that page. And then it also follows the sketch because there's a little thing that overlaps there. So I decided I'm going to use some tags up here instead of just some paper. I have this vellum tag, which is a mint green, and it's just perfect. It is going to cause me to add in some metallic, so I just run with it. This tag, I think it's actually a birthday tag that's supposed to go on somewhere. I think I got it at Target, I want to say. Maybe. We'll see. So I pull out these little flat stickers, and they came from some Maggie Holmes collection. I could not tell you which one. And I just layer up two on top of the pre-printed banners parts, because now I have like this metallic thing going diagonally across the page from the bottom left up to the upper right. Now these are also from Close to My Heart. They are some wood veneer words. And I know that I'm going to go ahead and layer that up there. Now, I am looking for options for my title down here, but I just wanted to share something with you. So I definitely have an influx of product coming in to my craft room, and a lot of times what I like to do is keep that influx of product kind of together, and then I will get into it, use it a little bit, and then it will make its way into my stash. Well, I've decided that I just need to start making this stuff happen. Like I was going to save this Close to My Heart little pattern paper pack for the perfect thing. What am I doing? I'm going back into the bad habits that I used to have where I would save it for that perfect layout, and the perfect layout never came. So I decided that since I thought that this paper pack was so important, that I was just going to use it on this photo. Not that this photo isn't important, not that it's not a great memory of where I got to hang out with some lovely ladies before Junkie Fest last year. But it doesn't, for some reason, my mind had switched back to I need to save this. Probably because when I got my Sparkle City stuff in, I just used it all in one fell swoop. And I'm kind of sad that it's all gone. So maybe that is part of it, but no, I gotta stop that. I gotta use my stuff and be happy that I'm using it. So I just decided to go with this photo where it's not really anything loved theme. It's not anything like an anniversary or a layout about my kids and I love them, or a layout about my husband and I love them. It's literally a love statue. So there it is. Use your stuff. Like that is like my kind of like my mantra is just use your stuff and have fun doing it. And there I was. I started, it's so easy to slip back into the hoarding. So there we go. I decided to use that Amy Tangerine thicker, that glitter thicker there with the banner that says love. Now this is the third time that I've owned this package of thickers, whether they've come in kits or somebody's given it to me or it was a prize, but I keep using them because they're so awesome. The navy blue enamel stuff is from Heidi Swap. I couldn't tell you what kind of collection or anything like that because I hate packaging, and I just have, as you can see, the plastic bits. I don't have the packaging surrounding it. So I pulled out my wood veneer case here, and I'm just trying to figure out what I can use. And then I played with the idea of pulling that stuff off and using the wooden frame that said love, but I decided, nah, wasn't worth it. I have all this other great stuff here that I don't need to do. Now I found this heart that has the LOVE, mimicking the LOVE in the photo, so I decided that that definitely had to go on the page. Now, I know it's just kind of like hanging out there and chilling, and it doesn't have anything else with it right now, but don't you worry. Since I had the wood veneer up at the top and now I have this heart wood veneer, I felt like I just needed to add a little bit more wood veneer for this page. Since I added it in one place, I should definitely add it in two, and if I can add more, even better. Now that is kind of a stylized heart over there by Love. It is different than the hearts that I use down below, and I am okay with that, especially since the little curve of the heart kind of mimics that curve of the L, and it nestles in right there. Really pretty great. And anytime I can make things nestle or fit like that, it just makes my little heart so happy. So I've pulled out my flower stash, and I have been, I've actually used florals like this on a couple layouts recently, so I'm getting them used up. Now I wanted to make sure that I brought in enough of the navy, because really the only navy that I have on here is that little piece that's peeking out of the background and the little piece that's peeking out of the photo. So I have those little enamel things, but I felt like I needed a little bit more navy. And I only had 2 of those large flowers left, cut one in half, and boom, there we go. So I pulled out the teal flowers now, and I'm just using them and just placing them where I think that they're going to go. And I really, really love them. Now, I have had these Prima flowers for years, and I mean years. I remember when the Prima flowers first made their debut, and I was one of the managers of a scrapbooking group on MSN, and one of the other managers had, I forget even who it was, a store or a wholesaler, I don't know, but anyway, we had purchased a whole bunch of these florals, and we were going to divide them up amongst our group. We had this huge group buy, and this woman drug her feet and drug her feet and drug her feet, and it got nasty. Like, we had to threaten her because she wasn't giving us the product. And finally she gave us the product, and everybody was ridiculously happy because everybody had the Prima flowers now, and Prima flowers were everywhere on our layouts. And of course, not like back in the day when I first got these flowers, this might not seem like a whole bunch of flowers on this layout, but this would have been too many for me. I would have been like, oh, I gotta save these flowers. You know, it was such a hard time getting them, and it was such a struggle getting them. I gotta save these flowers. But now I'm like, nope, let's use them. Let's just use them. So there they are. Now I'm going to kind of figure out what I want to do with the flowers, like the centers of them. So I don't like to leave my florals empty. I feel like they need a center. So I pull out my colors, and I pull out white and blue and teal and pink. And the navies that I had really didn't match the navy in any of the navy on this layout. I mean, it was like garish. It just didn't work. So I decided to pull out the pink ones because I felt like I needed, now that I had brought in all of this navy and I brought in all of this like minty green, I felt like the pink was being pushed to the back again, even though I wanted the pink to be the pop. So I decided to go with pink larger brads on these larger flowers. and I completely missed the fact that I've got a larger flower right there. And the two colors of pink are not the same exact shade, but it's the last shade of each one I have, so I'm okay with it. I won't be okay with it later, though. You'll see why. So now I am going to go ahead and use these little teeny white brads. I just poke a hole with my pokey tool and put that little white brad right on through. And I'm leaving this in here to show you guys that it really didn't take me a long time to do this. I think a lot of the times it's kind of been put into my head, at least, that it, and I don't even know who did it or how it got there, but it is there, that brads just take too long. Like, we have moved on for brads, they don't take too long. But we can stitch and we can do mixed media and we have to wait for it to dry and we can back cut files and we can do all these other things that take such a long time, but we can't stick brads in a page. So anyway, I stuck brads in a page. I still really like brads. I probably don't use them as much as I should, and that is because where they sit on my shelf, I have a rolly cart, and the rolly cart kind of blocks it, so I probably don't think about them as much as I should. So here's where I'm realizing that I need to put something on that large mint flower. And I'm like, do I really want to put a white one there? Because then I'll have a white one and two different shades of pink. So I just double check and I do realize that yes, these are two different shades of pink. I was okay with that when it was just two flowers, but now I have three flowers. So I either have to add in a third shade of pink or do something else. And I decided I did not want a third shade of pink. I decided what I was going to do was find a different shade of pink, a little bit darker than I originally planned on, but like I said, I felt like the pink was going to the background. So I used the darker one. I definitely had multiple colors, and that one, I believe it's Basic Gray Brads. I was so sad when Basic Gray went out. Okay, so here I am just using washi tape to cover up all of the tines of the brads on the back. And that is because when I slip my page in, I don't want anything snagging. So anytime there is something that is kind of not smooth on the back of my page, I just wipe some washi tape over it. So I just write where it was and the date. I had to peek at the back of that photo because I didn't remember if it was June or July. And that is going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to follow the YouTube hop down below so you can check out everybody's creations for the challenges. And I will see you again real soon and on the Facebook group. Bye.